What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be about mistakes I see in Rook lobbies and lower. Now, not everyone makes these mistakes, but I think going over some of these will help anyone that's having trouble climbing. With that said, let's get right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about was loose streaking. I've talked to a lot of players, even king players, who are like, they don't want to loose streak at all. Like, they just don't want to do it because they think it's too risky, which is totally understandable. But once you see how much goal difference you have between middling and loose streaking, this might change your mind. So I made a little notepad thing here, real quick. This is really quick, but it just gives you an idea of what's going to happen. So on round 6, let's say you have 10 gold, right? And I wrote down for loose streak, middling, and win streaking. What I did with the middle is that for I would basically make it where you win every other round. So every other round you would get that one extra gold from winning that round. So the loose streak, basically round 7, you guys are going to be about similar. Round 8 is where the things change. But the real important thing to look at is that around round 13, that the loose streaker has 79 gold, the middler has 67, and the win streaker has 84. Yes, the win streaker has a lot of gold, but win streaking early really comes down to just like what units you pull and what items you have. So loose streaking is just a lot easier to do. But at the end of the day, the loose streaker in this situation that I wrote out here is going to have either an extra level on you now, or like 6 extra rolls, which could be a lot. Because if they level to 8 early, or 7, they can roll down for 4 cost a lot faster than you, while you're still just trying to get your economy up. So like, it's really important to lose streak sometimes. Like, don't always middle. Like, if you see someone open forward, obviously you can't lose streak, or it's very hard. But if no one's really open forwarding, then it's not a bad idea to pull a couple units or anything like that. Like, I did a whole video on loose streaking. So if you want to check that out, I'll put it in the description. But that's the first thing. This is the first concept. I feel like this is the most important thing that I see new players not want to do is loose streak. And sometimes it really is the play to do. Alright, so now with loose streaking out of the way, let's talk about leveling on curve. This is something I see players make a mistake on here and there. Basically, I see them roll down at level 7 instead of like level 8, which doesn't make sense to me. I would rather level to 8 and then roll down because you get better chances at legendaries now, especially since the last patch and we have like a much higher chance of finding legendaries. It's so much more important to hit 8 as fast as possible and then to roll down if you need to. Like if your team's too weak and you really need to roll. Not to mention also leveling to 8 is important for synergies, like for knights. You know, it gives you the Garrus bonus. I'm thinking more like Feathered Assassin gets the Beast bonus at 8. So there's more synergies at 8 that you get, which can make your team stronger. And the chance of legendaries just makes leveling on curve so much more important. Like if you're not level 8 on round 21, most of the time, you're messing up. And I don't mean like specifically round 21. It could be earlier in 21, but you have to be 8 by at least 21. That's so important. And I still see people make this mistake. Like if you're doing that, if you notice in your games you're not level 8 on round 21, then you should really look back. You're probably spending too much gold somewhere, or you're being too greedy with your economy. Unless you're win streaking like crazy, but I feel like you would level earlier just to keep win streak. So not really a good argument, I feel there. This next topic is super important. It's a mistake even high level players make sometimes. It's not picking units that will counter whoever your opponent is. So in this game, I was 1v1. This is not my team. This is the enemy team. I was mages, spirit mages. And this guy was goblins. Now, if you watched any of my other videos about goblins, they should crush mages 1v1. The issue is this guy, he was actually he was wizard goblins, but he found Devastator and decided to go regular goblins. And I feel like he threw the game. So I was the highest HP, we're 1v1, and if he had wizards, he could have put in Marine. So if he was saving his money, like if while he was looking for these like warlocks, like he went a Garrus warlock for the knight guy, which I get, but he didn't hold any marine on his bench. Even though the knight guy had like 6 HP, I had 40, and this guy had like 10. He needed to pick up marines on the way, and that would have won him the game. Like if he went 4 marine with the wizards and goblins, he 100% would have beat me. But he didn't plan for late game, and I feel like a lot of players make this mistake is they don't look at what they need later in the game. Like sometimes I'll hold 2 different synergies on my bench because I'm fighting 2 different people. So like if I'm a goblin and I'm fighting knights and mages, I would have the Garrus warlocks for the knights, and then I would hold the marines for the mages. Because like goblins are strong as they are, so even if he put in 1-star marine, he would have been way stronger against me than like what he has right now. So always look at what your lobby needs. Like say there's a feathered player that's win streaking super hard and he's just crushing everyone. Maybe you should buy that feathered item instead of the frantic mask, you know, because that would make you be able to hit them. So always try to look at what items are good for countering your lobby and try to think of what items are good in general. So like if you're against goblins and you're having trouble, it doesn't guarantee you a win, but getting the infused mask, the dragon blood axe plus the Dracula mask, what that item does is it stops healing. And the biggest thing that goblins have is armor and regeneration. So if you get infused mask, you stop the regeneration. And then if you have like something like an assault cuirass, which reduces armor, you reduce that armor gain, effectively making their goblin bonus not even existent. And that would give you the best chance at beating them. So look at items that you might need. Like if there's a bunch of mages in your lobby, you need claw wands. You know, even if you're a mage player yourself, you need claw wands, because if you have a claw wand on a shaman or Tortola, you can wipe the enemy team even if they have you silenced first. So this one I feel is the most important, is just make sure you're looking at what counters that lobby and picking those units to help you. Alright, so for last topic, we got picking early game units. I can make a video on this if you guys need, but knowing what units are good early game is super important. Like what synergies are good early game is super important. Like mages early game, generally not good. Don't be that guy that opens round 4 with God of War, Shining Dragon, Source or something. I've seen it done. I've even seen people open with like Source 2 and 2 axes. It's not good. It's not going to win a round. It's cool that you have a 2-star, but that's not a good 2-star. Like knowing what units are good early game is super important. So stuff like a lot of the 3-cost units are actually really good. If you didn't know, like Wind Ranger by himself is still really good. Poisonous Worm early game is really good. Like Taboo Witcher 2 is really good, especially if you put a frantic on him early. He'll do so much work. So like it'll take some time, but figure out what units are good early game and try to pick those up when you see them, and that'll give you the best chance at win streaking in a game. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of our video. I hope it helps some of you. If you guys want me to do the early unit video, just let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video or it helped you out, if you could hit me with a like and a subscribe, that would be great. If not, I totally understand. And with all that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.